Welcome to this week's episode of Local Threads. I'm Molly, your host, and this week I'm sitting down with the founder of Second Serve Resale, Amy Hebb. Second Serve Resale is a nonprofit out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And I'm going to wait until you listen to the episode to find out more about it. Let's get into it. Welcome, Amy Hebb, founder of Second Serve Resale out of Providence,
Out of Pawtucket.
Pawtucket.
Pawtucket. Silent W.
Oh no. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for
It's
the way
hard.
I pronounce every single town in Massachusetts. At
Oh.
least I say Massachusetts right.
Yeah.
I got that going for me. But
That's
it's
okay.
it's what?
It's like P apostrophe Tucket.
Pawtucket.
Yeah. Phonetically, it's Pawtucket,
That's what I said.
but it's Pawtucket.
Oh my gosh. At
But-
Hope Artist Village, right?
Yes, yes.
Pawtucket.
Yeah. Good.
I nailed it. Okay. I'm not gonna say Peabody. I hate that word. You started Second Serve in 2021, right?
So Second Serve Resale incorporated in 2020 during COVID. And then our online store was formed during COVID and kind of went live the end of 2021. So
Okay.
2022, I would say, is our first full year of online business. So yeah, we're in technically, because we incorporated in 2020, we'll have a 5-year anniversary soon.
That's impossible. That's not that you've done that, but that time has went that fast.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I don't
know.
know what time warp we entered in, but I'd like to somebody needs to put it neutral because we're in overdrive.
Yes. Especially looking back at the pandemic. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like it was yesterday or last year, not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years. Well, congratulations on that.
No,
That's a
thank you.
milestone.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Second Serve Resale is a nonprofit.
It's Second Serve Resale is an online shop. We also have in-person pop-ups from time to time, but our main concept is an online store. And when you buy something from Second Serve Resale, you get to pick where the proceeds go.
And it's 85%.
85%, and we have 20 or so nonprofits to choose from. So people donate to us, and then we put that stuff online. You know, we promote resale as opposed to buying new clothing items, and then the environment is safeguarded. And at the same time, a nonprofit will get some of the money. And so the concept is to try to see if resale purchases can be increased with the incentive of adding, your choice of a nonprofit to direct the money. You and I know for sure that there's lots of reasons to buy resale, environmental reasons, and also because budget reasons, but also just cool stuff is out there. But maybe an incentive to give to nonprofits will bring people back. And so that's our main mission, is to increase resale sales, not just with us, but with, anywhere.
Right.
We want to convert people to resale. And we also promote, not buying and mending your own clothes, but really to
Right.
try to address the crazy consumption problem that we have in this country primarily, although it's not just this country, but that is what the concept is. Yeah, it's been fun and we're growing. So
Oh, you are
catching on slowly.
Yeah. So if a nonprofit, how do they go about doing that?
Well, you could email me and we can have a discussion. We're trying to get out of Rhode Island right now, not because, obviously we love Rhode Island, but Second Serve Resale is a national concept. So
Yeah.
some of our nonprofits are in Rhode Island, but there's plenty outside. We have 3 in California, 1 in Mass, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Washington State, and we just have a new international one in Guatemala. And so we're trying to partner with nonprofits where our customers are and have a geographic variety, and also in terms of programming variety. Yeah, if someone wants to partner or if they're interested, you should contact me, Amy at secondserveresale.org, and we can talk about it. When we partner, we expect nonprofits to promote us.
Right.
And that's really what the partnership is. We'll give you 85% if someone just, selects you at checkout, but we need you to get the word out about us. And it really just helps the nonprofit. It's
Yeah.
another way for constituents to support something that they already support or support in a different way. So if people are game for being involved with that, then, that's a good conversation to have.
I know somebody.
Okay.
If you're looking to fundraise, I know a person that
Okay.
that can send you 85% of their sales.
Well, it's really like a no-brainer for
Yeah, it,
nonprofits.
it, it is. It seems like a really simple thing to do for a nonprofit.
Right. And I think the nonprofits that we partner with that do the best, though, are the ones that will put us on their website, will put
Yeah.
us in social, because it doesn't sort of happen magically.
Right.
The ones that do better are the ones that are well known nationally. Like we partner with Save the Bay and Meals on Wheels.
Mhm.
Like we don't have any nonprofits in, say, Arizona. Maybe we should. But if you're in Arizona and you're looking down the list, well, you know what Meals on Wheels, like you have a local
Right.
Meals on Wheels. So that's generally helpful. But if you're a smaller nonprofit, you have to get the word out
Yeah.
to people to say, listen, if you're into resale, this is another way you can support us.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it should work out. It hasn't been, nonprofits are stretched though. Yeah, I mean, yes, they have their hands full, and presently they're getting a bunch of funding cut. Like
Yeah.
it's chaos out there. So it's not like, number one on a nonprofits list to make sure they get the word out about Second Serve, but really that's how it's supposed to work. And that's what I'm trying to test by doing this.
Yeah.
And to, sort of maximize the effectiveness of selling resale, maximize the sale of a commodity that everybody has in spades,
Yeah.
So you help the environment, but like, nonprofits should get a cut of that? Why
Yeah.
should it just be for-profit companies? We have too much clothing.
Yeah.
We should have and that was the idea. There should be some way to make this easier for nonprofits
Yeah.
to create this win-win situation for the environment and for nonprofits just trying to fund their good programming.
And also, you can donate.
Everyone donates.
Yeah.
I go to church and people like shove stuff in my bag. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to donate their stuff. I get stuff in the mail. People
Oh,
come to the shop. Customers that, live in Chicago who like the concept. And it's good, especially for high-end stuff.
yeah.
When people want to clean out their closet, they don't want to dump it at Goodwill.
Yeah.
They want it to be maximized. And if I can resell it and get money for it, and then they know where it's going. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't pick the nonprofit, the buyer does, but it's filling. They feel like, oh, well,
Yeah.
if you give to Savers, or if you give to, you don't know if your clothes are going to get packed up and sent to Africa. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
or the global South. And if they're good clothes, they probably will be sold. But, there's too many, the amount of clothing out there means that it cannot be sold fast enough.
Right.
That is not the way to clean out your closet.
Have you reached capacity as far as like how much donations you could take?
Um,
Because I'm just curious, like if somebody wants to mail you something, and you've got all this inventory. I mean, do you have a warehouse?
so we don't have a warehouse, but now, since last August, so I used to do this out of my house and a friend's house, and it just got too much. And so it got this place in Hope Artist Village last August. And so now we can take more things. But it would just, as it kind of fills to capacity.
Yeah.
So we try to move them. I'm going to have a sale next week. We have pop-ups to try to kind of move the lower price stuff as well. But if you want to donate, I will never say don't no to quality pieces or to unusual ones
Yeah.
or, cool vintage ones, because that's what people like.
Yeah. What do you look for specifically?
Well, sometimes people will bring me like, send me a box of things or a bag of things. And what catches my eye are the brands. Not all brands, because there's some designer brands that make very cheap clothing. But usually, if it's a designer brand, the resale value will be higher. Some people, that's what they want. They're looking for that cheaper resale item with a designer tag. So that will catch my eye. The vintage stuff always catches my eye because the quality is just so much better than what is being made now.
Yeah.
So I like that. And that's kind of, and some people, that's all they shop for. If you go on our website, we have a vintage section, but we kind of have a little bit of everything. It's mostly $50 and up because of the time it takes to get things online. It's each item is individual. And so you have to take pictures and do a description and things like that. So I start with the most expensive items that I can get for resale and then work my way back.
Yeah.
Unless if I get something really cool, like sometimes people will just get very unique things or for example, larger things. So people, there's a lot of people who really are not interested in size 4 or 6,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of those items because I think in general, as a generalization, as we get older, we're shifting things out for perhaps larger sizes or different styles or something, whatever. But if I see a vintage item that's a size like 16, that's like golden
Yeah.
because 16 is really a 12 or maybe a 10, then because the vintage especially is very small.
Yeah.
So I look for, larger sizes too, just because I want to, have everyone be able to find something that they like.
Right.
So
Do you also do accessories?
we have handbags, and handbags are great if I get a good one because they're easy to store and, it's no one needs to try any of that stuff
Yeah.
on. But handbags, totes, clutches, wallets, things like that. People can donate those as well. We have some jewelry, not a lot, but some. And it just, kind of depends. So I never really know what someone's going to donate. And it's kind of fun. That's the fun part of
Yeah.
this. You're like, what did I get? The fast fashion brands I won't put online. Sometimes I get them. And so if I can't use it, I'll donate it to someplace who can or upcycle it.
Right.
One thing that's grown out of Second Serve is something called the sewing circle, which is not a new idea.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. You mentioned people give things to you from church, and you just said, let's start a sewing
Well,
circle.
yeah. So the Second Serve community, some people have said that they wanted to do mending, and I was going to have it in my shop, but then there were too many people. So now I have it at the church, my church. I will bring, sometimes I'll get something donated that needs some TLC. I'll bring it and we'll work on some of the stuff there to get it ready to put online. Or, if something's in bad condition that can't really be salvaged, I'll hold on to it and then try to use it to make something else. That is, my goal is to have every single piece that is donated to be either sold online and sold to somebody else or upcycled or directly donated to people who can use it. I mean, the whole point is to keep things out of landfill. So
Right.
I try to do that as much as possible. And then, the final part of this is like the things that people say, well, what do I do with this? This is, it's kind of, I can't use this for anything, but trying to educate people about the options for textile recycling, which are pretty much zero, but there are a few places where individuals can send
Yeah.
their clothes to be actually either upcycled or downcycled, but to try to have some education about that as well.
Yeah. Doing some research about the quantity, I think some god awful amount of tonnage, right? That's sent to the global south.
It's like a big problem, and
Yeah.
it's not going anywhere. It's only getting bigger. And so, yeah, we have to address it. It's hard, with the present state of our country. I've been thinking about this a lot, just like doing a blog for Second Serve, but there's all these things that we need to address, whether it's consumption, climate change, housing, poverty, discrepancy in wealth. But we are in this state of like, we need, like, we don't have due process. Like, but as I think about it, I do not think that these issues that we've been trying to address all along should get, bumped to the bottom of the list. I think that while we address the emergency, in my mind, that is our country right now with due process, with the trampling of our Constitution, in my opinion, we need to mobilize and speak up. But that goes hand in hand. Like, if we can do that, we can do it for climate change and for the planet.
Right.
So I don't think it's one or the other. We need to own, get back in the game with our democracy and our civic involvement. And when we do that, we can address these things because it's our democracy and it's our planet. No one's going to come and save it for us.
Right.
Clearly, no one is coming to save the democracy unless we get up there and start demanding that our voices be heard. And we have to do it together. So I think that I'm not sure why I got on this tangent, but I think that
I could probably guess.
it's been on my mind. I mean, it's
Yeah.
what's going on now is so upsetting, but I think that we can't, lose sight of these other big problems, and we will be, if we have the courage to stand up and get our country back to uphold the rule of law for everybody. We're going to have the skills and the capability and the gumption push forward the change we want to see.
First of all, cut back to, you said due process.
I am an attorney, and I worked at Rhode Island Legal Services. The only place I've worked is Rhode Island Legal Services, doing family law stuff, restraining orders for domestic violence victims, representing parents when they're accused of abuse and neglect from DCYF. If anything, I'm a defense attorney, I would say, but because of that experience.
Starting second serve resale and also serving the public the way you had as an attorney, you've kind of lived your life of community servant in a way.
Yes, it happened to work out that way.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. I do have a heart for, I guess I want to be useful. I want to solve problems. I've tried different things. I was a teacher before I was an attorney, and there were parts of that I really liked. And being an attorney, I really liked. But what I'm doing now, I love. I really love it. And
You're creating a community
well,
too, which
it's
is really awesome to see. Like, you've got the sewing circle, then you've got your location in Pawtucket.
good.
I almost
Girl.
said Pawtucket because I'm from Louisiana, in case any of you missed that. The way you've been able to get all of these nonprofits together for donation. Imagine if that list too was just, I mean, it's great you have a lot of Rhode Island folks, but it'd be even better if you had a bunch of New England folks and then just kind of spread on out.
Yeah, we have one. It's Love Lane. I don't know if you've heard of Love Lane. It's in Lincoln, Mass. And that is a therapeutic horse riding organization for kids with special needs or cancer or um, all sorts of things. That's a great organization. That's our only one in Mass right now.
Really?
Yes.
Massachusetts, what are you doing?
I don't know, but we have a lot of customers from Massachusetts, so
Yeah.
I'll take some suggestions.
How did you come up with the name Second Serve?
So I'm a huge tennis fan. I took it up late in life, and I love it. I love watching it, and when I did this, and just the concept of secondhand, the concept of service, I was like,
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah. Um, and there's a lot of tennis imagery and talking on our website. We A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense with resale. We have our sales when the grand slams kind of happen throughout the year, the tennis grand slams. But
That's
anyway, we're just fans. And there's a lot of great vintage tennis stuff out there, like your scarf.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's where it came from. But it was a little bit of a no-brainer, just the secondhand and then the service. It just fit, and it's fun. So that's where the name came from.
You've also done a lot or had a lot of interns, I've noticed,
hmm
and that is through local colleges or
We have had some high school kids from Lincoln School Lincoln School in Providence, School for Girls is one of our partners. And the Lincoln School has a great environmental club.
Okay. That's
And
cool.
so there's a contingent of girls there that want to do stuff, in resale.
Mhm.
They also have the seniors, they have a senior project for a couple weeks. So I've taken kids for, a couple weeks in May for the last couple years. And they're great, they just bring some enthusiasm, a younger vibe. They pair things, make outfits that I never would or would think to or have time to do.
Yeah.
And they help on social media. They've been great. I've also had, a friend of mine from church she's 24. I'm like, can you just stop by and try on a few things? Because the clothes look better when they're on somebody.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of random. I'll take anyone who wants to come in and try on some clothes, and it's very helpful. And then I've got a friend at Brown now who's done a few things for me. But creating the content to make things interesting on social media, but not only that, I use the images in the descriptions so you can, this helps with pants primarily. Well, with everything, it's just so you can see it on somebody. And that's like an extra step to make it the description and the product listing a little more special.
Yeah.
And I would like to maintain sort of this quality control of putting out good clothing and making it look good online, to not skimp on measurements, to not skip on pictures, to disclose absolutely everything. I want people to come because it's a good quality place to shop. Like, it's
Yeah.
fun, it's informative. It's not like, in the real, you look at these things when you say, oh, it's a medium, oh, so and so brand mediums fit to size. Like, they don't put the measurements anymore because it's too much. It's
Yeah.
like, the volume that they have. But like, I never want to do that. I want to just do what I can. And, no one's making money here. This is a volunteer organization. I am not under the gun to put a certain number of product listings out. So I do what I can. I want to make it good. And then, maybe I grow slowly, but I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. It's better to have a slow burn. And honestly, that's what I keep hearing from a lot of people. So the sewing circle, they just do this for fun. They're not doing anything other than getting together on a specific day and just having a good time, meeting people.
Yeah. Sewing circle is like so much joy.
Yeah.
So,
I
and I
need to
tell
stop by sometime.
you have to, I tell everyone about it and I say, and sometimes people will be like, yes, I have all these projects. I never get to them. If I had a time set aside, I could just work on them myself. Some people say, I don't have any skills. I say, I have very limited skills. There's people there who have more skills. I have always used a needle and thread. I'm just starting to use a sewing machine. Um, but you can go and you can learn stuff. You can go and just hang out. The people there have done lots of things for Second Serve. I think I mentioned before, I've a loose hem or small repair holes or whatever that from donations.
Mhm.
People will fix them there for me because they're really quick and I'm very grateful, and I'll send them back and put them up online. The latest thing that I am the beneficiary of is that someone introduced a fabric bag, scrap fabric bags project, and so a lot of those, and it's just like a pillowcase with a grosgrain ribbon at the top, like a drawstring. I'm trying to use that for all of my in-person events, just so I don't have to buy paper anymore. And they're great. I
Yeah.
have these little Second Serve patches, and we've been sewing them on, and it's not just for Second Serve. I mean, anything I bring there, people can take home and work on it. It doesn't have to come back to me. It can for the site, but it's just these are maybe clothing that needs TLC, but it's gonna end up where someone's gonna use it.
Yeah.
Or we'll cut it up, like, I had a bunch of, cashmere sweaters that we made, that we had a bunch of moth holes in them, and we upcycled them into mittens. When I
Yeah, I
say
think I saw that on Instagram.
we, I do not mean me. Other people did. I sort of am kind of floating around, but like, people want to be there. I had one lady say, after COVID, I didn't really like leave the house that much. And I did I read at home and I did stuff at home. And it's just nice to find a place where you can meet
Yeah.
new people in like a low pressure way, and
You're not expected to pay
no,
anything
it's just
or
like,
buy anything.
yeah. And someone, some people bring craft stuff. Like it's like
Yeah.
anyone can come, everyone is welcome. But I think that I like it from the, upcycling and using scraps point of view. But I also just like it from a community point of view in a day and age where we need to we need
Talk.
to talk to one
Yeah.
another. We need to reach out to one another on a personal basis in person
Yeah.
to strengthen the ties that successful community and country and a way of life that we want. We are
Yeah.
going to have to be able to converse and recognize each other as humans
Yeah.
on a very like basic level, even if we don't agree on everything. We don't have to.
Yeah. It's unless you do, unless it's human rights, then
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, hopefully, we can. I have found that there are things. There's always going to be something,
Yeah, there is.
and you know, um, and I can't imagine. I mean, someone who's against human rights or against resale, like they're not coming to my sewing store. Like they're not
True.
interested.
True.
They would be welcome because I would love the challenge to convert them. But I just think more opportunities like that
Yeah.
would be good because
We're craving it as a society. And I mentioned this last episode that we're in an epidemic of convenience. It's hard. And
yeah,
it's definitely something you got to pull back from.
yeah, and it's sort of like insidious.
So
But so yeah, I mean, checking out, it's also just too much data.
it is. I
Um,
think we hit a tipping point to where we need to s- tip the scale of tech being useful and also bringing humanity back to where it needs to be.
yeah, it's something else we need to own ourselves and do it ourselves
Yeah,
because no
totally.
one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
Amazon and places like it will just get more efficient.
And you have to actually train yourself to not have such a short attention span. I've definitely noticed that in my own
Hmm.
impatience and I have ADHD, so it's even worse for me sometimes, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a challenge to check out and not feel like you have to substitute it with something like
yeah.
the feeling of being bored or downtime is so beneficial. It's not valued in our culture that says you have to be efficient all of the time. One thing that helps me is watching baseball on TV, and it's shorter than it used to be. I wish it were longer. Now they have a pitch clock. But like I will zone out, I love going to games too, but like just having a huge block of time. And I am times I will be on my phone or I'll be doing a crossword or something, but like baseball season chills me out. Red Sox aren't doing that great, but I mean, in general, like trying to find the activity that can get you back on track to a
Yeah.
place that feels balanced for you, whatever that means.
I think sewing circles are a great place to find that. So,
Yes, it's been great.
and then where could people find it? It's what church is it?
It's Central Congregational Church in Providence on, let's see, 296 Angel Street. Our next one is April 26th, so not this Saturday, but next from 10 to 12. You can also go on secondserveresale.org and
Depending on when this airs, that
yes.
may be in the past. So just check your Instagram
Yeah, check
or
Instagram
website.
or just look at the banner on the website. It should be up there. Or, the drop down menu will have Sewing Circle and it will have the next date.
Perfect.
We welcome you to come. It would be fun to see.
I'll link it in the show note
Awesome.
just so there'll be no question.
Awesome.
No, I think it's great. I'm seeing it'll pop up a lot more frequently now, like third spaces, and people are coming together. And I think it's kind of happened a little bit subconsciously, and because people are like, "Oh, I'm so sick of the internet,"
Mhm.
but also not at the same time. It's extremely useful
Mhm.
unless you let it like take you.
Well, there's definitely like that's how we met. I mean,
Yeah,
that's there is a community. I was never on Instagram until Second Serve Resale, and there is definitely a nice community of support out there. I mean,
yeah,
I found it certainly for sustainable fashion, and
yeah,
that is the biggest community. I'm trying to think of people I know in person that I see on the daily. Not a lot of people.
yeah.
In my daily life, I'm kind of doing it by myself or with, friends that help or volunteers. But, someone's always on, like, the Clothes Horse podcast, the
Right.
Sustainable Fashion Forum. Um, there's tons of them.
And there's
And,
so many local businesses around here that are
mhm,
doing really cool stuff as well. And people don't realize, Second Serve does a lot, right? And you're doing it yourself. Like you said, unless you have a couple people helping you, these are very isolated businesses.
absolutely.
But like, and we're not getting rich quick. So trust that. But also, it is kind of lonely. I talked about that with my last guest, like sometimes,
Hmm.
and it's so nice to have that community surprisingly on Instagram.
Yeah. And then within Instagram or maybe I was getting an email, the Conscious Fashion Collective. I
Mhm.
joined that, and it's a super chill group of people, and it's just nice to have um, a
Okay.
sounding board.
Okay.
I think my point is that within the Instagram, just sort of being friends with people, you can be more involved, be members of certain communities or whatever
Yeah.
that can help you, give you feedback, give you pointers, especially, small businesses, people trying to make connections, people trying to find jobs. I'm not trying to find a job. I like meeting people. I am not a networker at all.
Same. If I want to meet you, it's because I want to be your
Yeah,
first.
exactly. Honestly, because if I need some, I mean, it'll come,
Yeah.
or it won't. I
Yeah.
mean, I just am not that way. I guess I've
Yeah.
never really have been, but
Same. If I need to meet somebody, whether that's like for a job, I just go talk to them. I don't care who they are.
yeah. And I have a friend on my board who always kind of pushes me to maybe do a little more. And like doing this is, I mean, this is fun though. Like I'm not on LinkedIn, and she's like, you got to be on LinkedIn. Like, and I said,
LinkedIn is like
I
a
don't.
Facebook in a suit.
Oh my gosh,
It's
like
so bad.
I can't. I'm already on Instagram and on Facebook. I cannot do it. So part of this is I it is very like I think you have to stay true to what you're excited about.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, with your pivots and stuff, but there's a lot to cover. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's different ways of covering it, whether you're educating people, you're bringing people together, you're, letting people know about different resale opportunities or whatever it is. There's a lot of different ways to set yourself up. And I think
Yeah.
that as you're in the space, you got to sort of tweak it so you like it because, it's an uphill battle, like what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So you got to get your juice or whatever it is like that makes you happy, and you have to go at the pace that you can handle.
Yeah.
And so that's why you said I'm saying no to being. I mean, maybe I'll someday change my mind, but like I have no plans
Yeah.
to do any of that. I mean, I try to do social media. I don't do it well, and interns hopefully can help me with that. But
I don't do it well either. I don't know
I
what I'm
like
doing.
yours. You do that. You do good videos.
Oh, thank you. But I feel like
The
I'm
music is
just
so good too.
unhinged.
Oh, I'm just like, oh, and I'm dropping my phone and like doing like the bare minimum. We're having a pop up. I want to see you. Blah blah blah.
But it works
So,
because I see it. It comes on my feed.
well,
So
that's
that's
good.
good. And
That's
then
good.
I always know that whenever you post a video that you're going to get down to business about what you got to say.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that format.
Oh, well, that's all I have.
I mean, honestly, the being yourself is like
Yes, it's
the best
authentic, that's
thing
for sure. Yeah.
that you could do.
Okay.
Like, all the extra stuff is just like apps, bells and whistles. I don't
Mhm.
do any of that on my own. I just plug it into an app.
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's funny. We'll just go with it."
Yeah.
I think people don't also realize, like, if they wanna resell clothes, they actually have to prep them for resale. That doesn't mean just washing them, and so the fact that you have this sewing circle that's essentially helping you out, but also having a great time doing it, making new friends
Mhm.
is awesome, and it's also a load off of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's, just a nice way to spread it around, to sort of share the message or build up the
Yeah,
message of reuse and resale and get people involved. At the end of the day, it's about, making friends with people,
yeah,
and then they're like more interested. They're like, "Wait, I know you now. What do you do
yeah,
again?" And it's fun. Like it's just nice to make those kinds of connections, and then you
mhm.
start talking about things you're both interested in.
And
Um,
people need to not underestimate the word of mouth because I would almost say that it's at least locally, that's way more impactful than social
oh
media.
my gosh, yes. I mean, what I would love is that someone has a good experience either in sewing circle or buying something or donating something, and then they go tell their friend about it. That is the best.
Yeah.
They just tell their good friend about it.
What's Second Serve's mission?
Our mission is to reduce the consumption of new clothing items by promoting resale. Basically, that is it in a nutshell. And we do this by offering the incentive to buyers or to customers that they can pick a nonprofit to send 85% of the profits on our online store. That's how we do it.
So do you have any sort of idea of your local impact?
For us, I can measure, sales. Our sales have gone up every year, and the amount we give to nonprofits has gone up every year. So that's good. Last year was probably 25,000 in sales, not, but we gave 17,000 to nonprofits. So, that's a chunk of change, but I think that is meaningful because of how it came about.
Yeah.
So I think that if I can continue to grow this, it should be able to work, and we, send more money and make more money each year. It should be able we can should be able to do this on a larger scale. And why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yeah.
It has had an impact on the community. I feel lucky that I've been, a huge beneficiary of this. We talked about the sewing circle and the joy that that brings, but also learning about nonprofits, what they're doing, making connections with people who are doing really great work across the country, and also the donors. I've had just tremendous experiences with people giving me stuff. I had a gentleman about a year ago from the Cape drive a whole Volvo wardrobe or collection from his wife that had passed recently, and it was just an amazing interaction.
Yeah.
He brought all this stuff into my house. We were carrying it in, and it was all her things, and it was a way that he was processing
Yeah.
loss, and it was a way that I was getting to know his wife, Virginia. I wrote a blog about this one. Um, by her things, and it was very touching. I
Yeah.
feel, honored that I was a part of that, and I think outside of the donation of specific physical pieces of clothing, that helped that man, and he I'm it's a good day when you can make someone feel good, and you can be a part of facilitating that.
Yeah.
But as I said, I benefited from just being a part of that, and it just really was a good feeling. So there's instances like that you can't really,
Quantify.
yeah, you can't
Yeah.
quantify. It's not on a chart, but like I said before, we want to convert people to to buy resale at second serve or not, and so if you have an experience with us that's good and you're like, oh, I might try resale again, um, and you go shop someplace else, that's a win.
Because we have the numbers on how much people spend in Massachusetts on clothes
Hmm.
from like big box stores.
Hmm.
I'd love to see that number compared to with all of the secondhand and vintage sellers,
Hmm.
um, even upcyclers, to see the delta between the two. But also, I know secondhand and upcycled and remade clothes are on a massive upswing, which is
Hmm.
great. I would love to put numbers behind it from, but I would like maybe we should have a coalition. We're not trading secrets. We're just like, we want to know what is that number?
Yeah, that sounds like a job for I don't know if this is going to happen because higher education is getting slashed with funding, but Bryant University, um, their seniors do, no, maybe it's their freshmen. At the end of their freshman year, there's a project that they do, and they are paired with an organization, for profit and nonprofit. And I spoke with the professor who heads that up, but, those kinds of tasks, like, that would be good because,
Mhm.
for a class who has taken accounting, marketing, and all this other business stuff to come in and do that kind of stuff that I don't have time to do, or
Yeah.
gather that stuff that, people who are doing this, whether it's their full-time job or a side hustle or whatever, it would be good to know those local stats. I mean, as you said, the Thread Up report comes out every year, and it's just like retail is growth is drowning regular retail growth. So it is getting
But
more and more popular.
yeah, I
But it
mean,
would be nice to have some local stats, and maybe they're out there somewhere. But the end of the day, what I'm doing at Second Serve is solving a couple of problems at the same time, and I just think it's a good idea.
no, it's amazing. It's an
And so
amazing
I just
idea.
hope it, like, because I would think if you're into resale, why wouldn't you stop at Second Serve first?
Yeah.
Because you can send them the proceeds.
Yeah.
And I may not have what you want, but why wouldn't you check there
Yeah.
first? But I do think that if word gets out that it will take off. I am confident in it. I'm okay with the word of mouth
Yeah.
quality, the quality sharing and endorsement of, your friend, your neighbor, and the people you come in contact with.
Yeah.
Because those people are loyal, and those are the ones that are gonna make a difference, and not just clicks on your, I don't know, followers on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have anything besides the sewing circle coming up? Do you have anything coming up in May or the summer that you want to talk about or promote?
Well, in the summertime, so we got our space at Hope Artist Village last August, so I haven't been there for a summer, but there's a courtyard at that complex, and so they'll have some outdoor markets, and I will be there, with my rolling racks out into the courtyard. And I hope people, if you're in, it's in Pawtucket, but like, if you're in Rhode Island, if you're in Providence, like, it's
It's all
very
the same.
close. It's all
And
very close.
honestly, there's so much to do in that building. I've went to escape room
Oh,
twice there.
I know.
And then I was like, once I knew that you were there, I was like, let me go find it, even though I
Yes.
knew it was too late. But I
Well,
know where you are now.
yeah. Well, it's definitely, it was an old thread, mill, like textile mill,
Yeah.
but it's a great place to visit. It's also a great place to see live music if you at the Met, which is right out front there.
Oh, okay.
I will be having, pop-ups here and there. I'm going to have a pop-up with a friend of mine who makes jewelry in May. So I'll advertise that. And then we're having an in-person event at the end of May, May 31st on a Saturday, where I'm going to give half the proceeds to Butler Hospital, which is a hospital on the east side of Providence, that addresses lots of mental health issues and memory care, Alzheimer's research and that sort of stuff. So it's just a great organization and a great hospital. So every now and again, at a pop up, just because I run things, I can decide what to
Yeah.
do with it. You know what I mean? So, like in January, we gave half of the proceeds from a pop up to the Pasadena community foundation for the Eaton fire, for the forest fires out there.
Mhm.
So it's nice to be able to respond like that.
Yeah.
It's very fulfilling. It's on people's minds,
Yeah.
and sometimes, you get people in because they want to support that cause. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, what are you doing? And,
Yeah.
so it's all good. It really is. It's very gratifying. And I really do enjoy it. Just doing pretty much everything myself. I just have to, be okay with not doing it all.
Yeah.
And, I certainly have help and volunteers from time to time, but like, you can't do everything, all of it, or you're just going to get burnout. And like I said, it's not a money making venture. You know, I have the luxury of, at least if I'm not making the money to sort of hire people or do whatever, at least I have the control that
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
And I can schedule the pop-ups when I want. I can schedule when it's open. I can schedule when I accept donations, and I can take a break from social media, and like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've posted for a few weeks now, and I just have no.
But again, it comes back to this balance thing, and trying to not burn out, to stay in the fight of protecting our planet, but getting rejuvenated by, like, this is really fun, like talking to somebody else,
Oh,
and
good.
and finding out about different other stores or resources around. Like, this is great. Or connecting with someone online. I've got a donor in Concord, Kate from Concord, and she always sends me stuff that she finds on Instagram, and then I repost it, put it on the story. And it's just like, it's very helpful to me, but it's
Yeah.
really nice. I have a little conversation with her, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I like these guys.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it does help because it is overwhelming when you are doing something on your own that is a grind.
It is.
Anything to do with resale is a grind.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what type of resale it is. But on top of that, you're your own person. You have to be motivated by your own passions and pursuits. And that is not gonna be, it's never gonna be money
Yeah, I
or you'll
know.
just die.
I know. I know. But I think that, like, stuff like this podcast, other efforts online too, that try to bring people together in a positive way. I found this with the Conscious Fashion Collective to, we're all on the same side in
Yeah.
terms of the big goal,
Yeah.
and we should be helping each other. This is not a contest. It is something where we all want to find our way because we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel like we're strongest, is when the community component is strong and you do feel connected.
Mhm.
And you can only be that way when you have the balance in your own personal life with this stuff, that you have your own personal balance, and then you have what you can give to this, resale sustainable community.
Yeah, it's a lot. But also it's really great whenever you just get that spark and you can't stop.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Like, you can spot people who are like this. But when
Yeah.
I have customers come in, I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like, they'll go through every single item and just to see it. And like, cause that's what I am. I was in Savers yesterday getting your other mug. But I got a bunch of stuff and just go through each thing, cause I'm curious. I'm curious what things are being priced at. I'm curious of anything out of the ordinary. It's
Yeah.
really hard at Savers now to find good stuff because there's so much junk. But there's always, like,
Yeah.
you're on the hunt. But it's like super fun.
Yeah. It's always the hunt is fun.
Yes.
And honestly, I love the Salvation Army.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to buy. I don't tell people to donate to Savers, because I feel like there's nonprofit options that will take it, but and they also ship overseas. They're very open about that. But I'll buy from there.
So Goodwill and Salvation Army are nonprofit, right?
Yes, right. Savers is for profit,
Okay.
although it's confusing because you think it's nonprofit because they will give, if you donate, they will give some money to Boys and Girls Club of Rhode Island. But, at the end of the day, whatever they can't sell, they're going to ship overseas.
Yeah.
That is my understanding. And
I
you
mean, they
kind
all do it. They
you
just do
kind
it
of
a different way.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So that's a problem. I mean, you
Yeah.
always want to ask that, like, you know,
Comment down below if you want me to do an expose on how that's done.
I do want an expose on how that's done. Because if you have too much stuff, like, that's
Well,
where it's going to go.
I was like, I don't know, picking somewhere off Facebook Marketplace, and he was like, meet me at this old abandoned airport hangar. And I was like, cool, this is going to be awesome. I get there, and it's like,
Did you bring someone with you? I hope.
no,
Oh
of
my
course not. Sketchy. No.
Air Force Molly.
Yeah. Yeah. I would not get 6 meters without I'd pass out. But no, he was super nice. It's just he had a store. And what I noticed at that point, because I had started learning more about overconsumption and how things are shipped overseas, he was able to just ship bales himself. And so I'm very curious of that process and how that works and why an individual can get an export license for something like that. Because I would assume that would take, maybe it's the weight that there's a limitation on the like license export.
Me this a lot. Like, what am I supposed to do? If you don't take it, I'm just going to give it to Savers. And I'm like, well, if it's crappy, it's not going to be sold at Savers.
Yeah.
It's going to be sold in a bale and it's going to end up in the global south and no one's going to buy it there because no one wants crappy clothes
Yeah.
here or there.
It sucks because everything's kind of been I guess started with good intention, right? We want to recycle, we want to donate. And then we get into this process of thinking everything behind the curtain is working the way it should be. And so, therefore, I don't have to worry about it.
Hmm.
Well, now we know that there
Yeah.
is nothing behind the curtain but a mess. So,
Yeah, but that is exactly right. And it's hard. You're like,
yeah,
okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to find out how the garment workers are treated. We got like, or I want to know what the supply chain is like. And
yeah,
how do I know that one, what I'm buying is what it says it is? And two, if I donate, it's not just going to end up in a landfill anyway. Like,
yeah,
and we have to take that next step. And again, we have to own it because no one's going to do it for us. That's part of like, what we're doing. I mean, my argument is that if you don't want to think about it, just buy resale.
yeah,
Like you really just take yourself out of that.
exactly. Yeah.
And then when you donate,
It's a great way to put it. If you just want to check out,
yeah,
just don't buy some new stuff.
yeah, yeah, guilt free. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, and I would argue you get better, just more fun, interesting things. But
Yeah.
there are sustainable brands out there, but it's just you have to navigate it, and it's like you
You
have to
almost
stay in touch with all these people doing the work, or whether it's the Clothes Horse or Sustainable Fashion Forum, or
Yeah, and what I found too, like, because it's a pay-to-play system when it comes to sustainable fashion, it as far as, like, certifications, the organic standards, the Okotex, like, all of these are a pay-to-play system, so you
hmm
have to pay in order to get that certification. You have to pass an audit, um, and then once you do, you get the certificate, and then every however long they deem necessary, you are re-audited.
it's not. I mean, it's not fair that it's this way. That you have these regulations, the pay to play, for people who are trying to do the right thing, and then
Yeah,
you've got no regulations on the fashion industry, which is causing the problem with overproduction.
yeah.
Like,
They're the only industry I know of that can get away with overproduction like that in the numbers that they do
I mean, it's just
because they're not paying people.
they're not paying people, they're not measuring energy used, they're not measuring waste produced, and they're squeezing all the profits that they can. Um, and no one is telling them to stop.
Yeah.
So, you know, I keep bringing it back to this because it's been on my mind. But, we need to stop it, and we need to stop it the same way we're going to stop the powers that be just running roughshod over the Constitution. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to just say,
Regulations are actually a good thing. I don't know if you guys know that.
yeah, I
But
mean,
they're the reason why we can, I don't know, function as a society the way that we do.
yeah.
Without them, it wouldn't be, well, I would say chaos, but I don't know anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, people will know when they, buy something and it hasn't been tested for like as can
Safe.
withstand fire or something like that,
Yeah.
when these agencies are being cut.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I think it's a complicated landscape with people trying to do the right thing and sustainable brands. And I
Mhm.
wish them well. I really
Yeah.
do. And you have to be.
It's almost that I trust a brand more when they tell me exactly where they're getting their textiles. They tell me where they get the raw material. They tell me where their garments are being made versus someone who has all of these B Corp and bullshit. I
Oh
mean, they're
yeah.
not bullshit, but
Anyone can be a B Corp, and they're
yeah.
not all good.
Yeah.
You can source things the right way and do all check all the boxes. But if you just make too much,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You just got more stuff out there.
Mm. It's gonna
Um,
end up at the rack. You're gonna end up selling it to a rag house or
yeah,
dumping it at Savers or Salvation Army or Goodwill.
yeah. You know the things that just kill me. You see the Planet Aid boxes at gas
Yeah.
stations, or even if you do an expose on nonprofits who get their funding
From
through selling
yeah.
people that put the clothing in that box and selling it to savers.
I did this TikTok, and actually I brought this up the other day. I don't remember what discussion it was, but I wanted to understand what that was because I'd never really even seen it. I've lived all over the country and the world, whatever. And I don't remember that, those yellow boxes, Planet something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Planet Aid.
Yeah. And so I did a little bit of a deep dive, and allegedly they could be related to a cult. So I have to go back and check, but
And then you see all like, the clothes piled up around the box because it won't fit in. Like this stuff is not going to be worn by anybody else.
yeah, there's an article.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what if this is a blog or what, but it's called revealnews.org and that's Planet AIDS ambiguous clothing donation boxes aren't so charitable.
Yeah.
If you know more.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I don't want to say it's all of them, but honestly,
Oh,
like,
it's a podcast actually.
oh, really?
So yeah. I'm
I'd love to check
He's a
that one
cult
out.
okay. Alleged cult leader plays shell game with US foreign aid.
Whoop. Sounds about
Allegedly,
right.
I don't know. That's check out their the Reveal podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I was yeah, embezzlement, tax fraud.
But it's such a hoax. Like it's such here you have people trying to do the right thing. All right, I won't throw it away in my trash can. I'm
Yeah,
going to
but
give it to Planet Aid, which sounds like a great organization
yes.
for the
And it's
planet.
convenient, it's on the way home, it's in the parking lot of the grocery store. And this is how we get into this trap. We've been told, donate it to a good cause.
Mhm.
And that's where predators come. They're
Yeah, I
like,
mean it's
ooh,
like bottom of the barrel, pathetic,
yeah,
awful schemes.
yeah. When you don't have something that's regulated in any kind of way or not really noticing the impact, this is how things get sketchy or at least not good for the environment.
Well, I think if our community can shine a spotlight, it will
Yeah.
force people to be transparent. Even what you want are regulations. I mean, a nonprofit has to disclose a bunch of stuff. I don't know what they do or if they're actually technically a nonprofit, but it should be pretty transparent what you're doing. Yeah, no one's a perfect consumer.
No. No one's a
When you go traveling, like I love going to resale shops, but I also buy stuff where I am and,
if I had a
or
dollar for every time I forgot something
yeah,
when I was packing.
I mean, we're just trying to do the best that we can. I
Yeah.
need to be informed and to the big push on Second Serve is to have it be fun
Yeah.
and to just share that fun. And then, people will be saving the environment and doing something they really want to do outside of that cause.
Mhm.
They're just shopping because they like it and it's fun. and they can get cool things. I've done a lot of doom and gloom on
N
this
No, you
in this
haven't.
conversation, but like,
I think it's thoughtful and it's purpose driven, and I don't think it's negative. I mean, we do have crises that need to be
that's
addressed, and
true.
we have
That's true. The earth's on fire,
there's some fire,
and we're still buying shoes.
but listen to how calm we are.
Yeah, yeah,
We
we are.
still
I'm
are
pretty calm.
centered
Yes,
in our purpose because, like, it's always gonna be like this.
yeah, and it is like not for the faint of heart.
No.
This is hard. We're up against a lot, but like, bring it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that we are made of tough stuff. I think we should, especially with our back to like owning our civic life. It is set up in this country that we can make it the way we want to make it if
Yeah.
we step up, and it's being involved. It's running for office.
I will not be doing that.
I don't think I'm a good candidate. I have a very thin skin. But, like, it's getting involved in a way,
Yeah.
that, knitting the community together,
Or threading them.
threading the locals together into a coalition that
Yeah.
accomplishes shared interests, because we as humans in this community don't agree on everything, but we sure agree on a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that we can move forward, and I am positive. We are in a tight spot right
Yeah.
now, but I am positive that, all of us joined together is better than, the crazy man who's in charge right now. And I think that, I'm sorry that it's like this, but it is a wake up call in terms of like how change happens.
Yeah.
You can't lose sight of it, and you can't turn your head away
Yeah, you can.
for like, a second,
Yeah.
because you're up against, you're this Sisyphean task of pushing this boulder up a hill,
Yeah.
but you just have to keep at it. And there's strength in numbers. So the stronger we can make our community, I think, the more effective we will be.
And I think people need to remember too, if you are into activism or being tuned in all the time, it's not necessarily healthy. So make sure you take a break
Balance.
and you balance it. Because remember, every time that you go in and you're tapped in and you're doing your advocacy work, um, just think about somebody else that when you tap in, someone else is tapping out for the week.
Yeah.
Just think of it that way. Make sure you decompress because it is hard. It is
Yeah.
hard.
I mean, you can't go to every protest. You can't
No.
read every email. Like, most people do not have like my job. I feel like I have a lot on my plate, but I've got a flexible schedule,
Yeah, same.
and some people just don't,
Yeah.
they're flat out. And then when they get home, they're tired and they're like, what? The last thing I want to do is read about the fresh hell that's happened this day.
Yeah.
And so, we can pick it up for those people until they have the wherewithal. And,
That's why team sports works.
yes,
So,
tap in. Yes, for sure.
but also find a good third space like the
Yes.
sewing circle.
Yes, the third,
Fill up,
exactly.
fill up your cup.
Yes, the sewing circle, the soccer community league, your local house of worship, like the place where you can recharge and be centered. Meditation,
Yeah.
art, all of it. It's necessary.
Yeah. Even listening to music.
Oh yeah.
Going outside. I'm guilty. I need to do that more.
Well, who wants to? I mean, it's nicer yesterday and today, but last weekend, oh my gosh, it was freezing.
I don't think did I go outside? Maybe.
I
And
did,
was
but I did
miserable.
not want to.
My husband wanted for his birthday to go to Dave and Buster's.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
you can imagine how fun that was for me.
Did you like
what?
you throw the ball into the thing, and what is it? Oh, it's video games. I haven't been in years. The
Don't-
kid, the
I don't
kids used to
blame
have
you.
birthday parties there. No, that's fun.
But it was an overstimulation for sure. But yeah, anyway, third spaces. That will be one not on my list, Dave.
Well, it is
No,
for him.
no shade,
It-
Dave and Buster's.
Yes,
But
it is for your husband, so that's good. That's his third space.
yeah, I don't think he would dare go there by himself. That'd be creepy, actually. Is there anything that you would like from the community, like, volunteers?
We always like volunteers, you know, to doing measurements of clothing,
Mhm.
sorting clothing, taking pictures of clothing. There's modeling. If anyone's interested in modeling for the website, for social, my space is a workspace. And so it turns into a shop. Yeah, I would welcome anyone who wants to be involved or just wants to talk about it,
Do
you
you take
know.
appointments?
Yeah, I take appointments. I live just down the street. So,
Oh, that's
like, yeah, you
nice.
can come anytime. I'm usually there, but like to make sure if you want to come shop, you can send me a text or an email and see if I'm around, and I will definitely meet you there. Yeah, so that would be great. Donations, like if you have things that you want to donate, if you have special items, if you have designer things, if you have what's great are the items that have a story behind them. You want to, you know, tell me what that is. I incorporate it into selling it, and you know, this personal chapter in your history can move on to somebody else, and people love that stuff.
Yeah,
You know, it's good for the donor, but it's great for the buyer,
yeah,
and that's definitely a hook to change the narrative from disposable to a meaningful one. You
right.
know, that our clothing is worth something. It's a personal thing. Things like that. Um, if people have ideas, I don't know,
Collaboration.
collaborations, you know, I'll talk to anybody.
What about if someone just wants to straight up donate money? We'll take that too.
Yes. So this year was the first year that we sent a letter out asking for donations because of now we're paying rent and have like utilities and stuff. We do have you can donate online on our site. We have a little space for financial donations and in kind donations. If someone would like to donate, thanks for bringing that up. If
Yeah.
someone would like to donate, we would love to take your money. We are a legit 501c3. We have a tax ID number. We can give you a receipt, facilitate a financial donation or an in kind donation.
Secondserveresale.org.
So the website is secondserveresale.org. My name's Amy Hebb. You can email me at amy@secondserveresale.org. And I'd love to hear from you. I would love, you know, I would love your ideas if you're excited about what we're doing and you want to be involved in some way. It would be fun to talk to you, get your thoughts. How do we spread the word about this idea?
Yeah.
How do you get
Follow,
involved?
like,
Uh,
share.
like, share all the things.
Yeah. All everything will be in the show notes, so you don't have you can put your pen and paper down. It'll
But,
be show
you know,
notes
I
and
appreciate you having me here. I'm so
yeah.
excited about what you're doing.
Thank you.
And
So
it's,
glad you came
oh,
all the way
sure.
from Pawtucket.
From Pawtucket. Yes. This is my second time here.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just fun to talk about all these things.
It is. It is. I just really think that the motto of today's episode is if you don't have time to think about it, just don't buy new stuff.
Give yourself some leeway.
Yeah.
If you really like shopping and it's something that, you know, you do with your friends or you know, it's just something like you like to do now and again, hit the resale stores.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks so much for having me. This is great.
Thanks so much for coming. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're interested in finding out more about Second Serve Resale, check the show notes. Thanks again for being here and like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts, or if you're on YouTube, hook me up and give me a sub or a like. You know what I mean? It's free. Okay, bye.